Lucifer would be very happy with Lilith, but when Charlie was only 2 years old, Lilith would leave him. He felt so depressed, so broken. He would take care of Charlie the best he could, but it was hard for him to do it with his mental health so broken. And it was hard for him to manage ruling all of hell and taking care of his daughter at the same time. The stress started to build on him more and more and more. He knew he couldn't raise Charlie. He was going to have to give her up. This was the hardest decision he could ever make, but he just had to do it. I mean, he could just have servants take care of all the time, but that wouldn't be right. She needs to grow up with someone who loves her and who takes care of her, so he had a plan. One day, Beelzebub would be out enjoying her time, but as she came home, she saw Lucifer sitting in front of her. As he said, "Let's have a chat." As Beelzebub would be nervous to see Lucifer, "Look, I didn't do anything wrong. Lucifer would say, "I know you didn't. I trust you a lot." As Lucifer would hold up Charlie as a baby, Beelzebub would say, "What's that?" "It's my daughter. I'm too depressed and broken to take care of her. I'll be back, but I need you to take care of her for a while." Beelzebub would say, "I'm not a babysitter, and, well, I'm a bit of a party girl, so I can't really..." Lucifer would say, "I trust you." As he simply walked out, Beelzebub was shocked, as now she would have to take care of Charlie. But she knew that she had to try her best, so that's what she did. She was now a single mother, and, well, she would still party and do things like that, but she would tone it down a notch, and she would always make sure Charlie was safe, and she would always make sure Charlie was well protected. And Charlie would slowly grow up. Lucifer would visit her every now and then. After all, he loved his daughter, but he had to get through his own problems to try to help take care of her. And as things went on, Charlie would eventually turn into a pretty good kid. One day, Beelzebub was drinking her drink as Charlie said, "Can I have some?" As Beelzebub said, "No, you can't. This is your mother's special, honey." As Charlie would say, "Aw, fine." As Beelzebub would sit down next to her, "I'm very grateful that..." Suddenly, Charlie would grab the honey and begin to drink it as Beelzebub would stop her. But she was too late. As she would say, "Oh no, that honey's laced with, crap, I'm such a bad mother." As she would run in to try to get a spell to fix her, suddenly Charlie would fall down. As she would start to see pretty colors go around her. As this was special party honey, she shouldn't have drunk it as a child. But as she was looking at all these colors, she would get strange delusions. And she would hear the word Lucifer a lot. Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. Wasn't that the name of that funny man that visited her? Why did she keep hearing it? As suddenly, Beelzebub would give her the antidote. As she looked up at her and she said, "Mom, who's Lucifer? He's that guy that visits us, right?" Beelzebub would be confused. Why would she be asking about Lucifer? She would say, "Yeah, why?" As then she said, "It kept saying, ask him." "I'm Charlie Morningstar," it said. Beelzebub was shocked. The honey that she drank, one of the side effects is, well, it tells them the truth. As Beelzebub sighed and said, "I can't keep doing this anymore. I know you're little, but what?" As she started to freak, Beelzebub would simply smile and say, "But I love you." As she held her hand, "Come on, let's get ice cream." As Charlie and Beelzebub would get ice cream, Beelzebub would keep the secret a little bit more. As, well, she didn't really want to hurt her. And she knew that thinking her father abandoned her would be bad. However, one day when she was 10 years old, Lucifer would come in and say, "I'm ready." Beelzebub would say, "I don't think she wants you anymore. She sees me as her mother." Lucifer would say, "I know, but can I talk to her?" "Yeah." As Charlie would be sitting down, she would look at both of them and say, "What's up?" Charlie thought it was time to play since, Lucifer was here, but she didn't want to play. She was getting older, and she felt grown up, even though she was 10. She was in that phase where she thinks she's old, but when she's not old, that phase you get in where you think you're grown up, but you're not grown up. At least I went through that. Anyway, let's continue. As Charlie looked at them both, Lucifer would sigh and say, "Sit down next to me." As Charlie sat down next to Lucifer, Beelzebub sat down next to her. As they all looked at each other, Charlie would say, "What's going on?" As Lucifer would say, "Charlie, I'm your father." Charlie would be shocked, as then she would say, "Is that a joke, funny man?" As Beelzebub would say, "It's not a joke, Charlie. And he's the king of everything down here. He was depressed ever since his wife left him, and he couldn't even run his kingdom, so he didn't want you to grow up with servants forever, without love and attention, so he gave you to me, and I raised you. Charlie was in utter shock as she was taking all of this in, but they both decided it was for the best to tell her early on, instead of just letting her believe this lie forever. As Charlie eventually spoke, as she looked at them both and cried and said, "Why? Why do this? Was I not good enough?" As Lucifer would hug her and say, "You are good enough, and B loves you." As Beelzebub would hug her too, Charlie would hug them both tightly, as they all cried together. As Lucifer would then be there for his daughter, and he would raise her like he was her father, which he was. However, Beelzebub would also be there, and she would raise him like she was his mother. And they both loved her very, very much, and Charlie was happy to have two parents that loved her. Sure, they weren't together, sure, they weren't dating, but she loved them both very much. Beelzebub would be more open, would let Charlie do more fun things. She would be the fun mom. And Lucifer would also be the fun dad, but he would be a bit more strict. And they would help guide her and help her through her situation. She loved them both very much, and would spend time with both of them a lot. However, as she aged, she would eventually turn 18. And as she turned 18, she would be walking down the street, as Beelzebub would walk up to her. "Hey there." "Hey, Mom, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I just saw you were at your dad's for your 18th birthday. It was kind of lame. Do you want me to show you a real party? Since you're 18 now, you can party, unlike before." As Charlie would say, "Do you really think that's a good idea?" "No, it's not a good idea. It's a great idea." As Beelzebub laughed, she took Charlie to a party, a real party, to show her what being an adult was really like. As Charlie was at the party, she was really nervous. She didn't really know what to look for or what to do. As Beelzebub would say, "Why are you so nervous? This is your 18th birthday. And you have magic, so you don't have to worry about getting, knocked up if you choose a guy. Do you like a guy? Or do you like girls? What do you like?" Charlie would say, I like both." "Oh, really? Then have fun. Choose someone from the selection," Beelzebub would say, as she would say, "Mom, do I have to?" "Charlie, I would be a bad mother if I didn't let you enjoy your 18th birthday." As she sighed, she got up and began to look around. As Charlie didn't know what to do. She didn't know who to hang out with, who to have fun with. As she looked around, she saw many men and women who all catched her eyes. But suddenly, this big buff wolf would walk towards her. Who are you?" "I'm Vortex. I'm just here for a party. I don't really know much people here." "Oh, hi. You want to maybe hang out?" As Beelzebub would walk up to them and give them both some honey and say, "Here, darling, try this out." As she would give it to Vortex, Vortex would drink it. As he looked at her, he began to smile. Vortex and Charlie would then go out for a fun time, as Vortex was very fun. They would have fun, they would play games, they would dance, they would do everything. They would even do, some adult things. As the next day passed, Charlie would wake up in Vortex's bed. As she got up, Vortex would say, "Where are you going?" Charlie would say, "Does this mean anything?" Vortex would look down and think, as he would say, "Do you want it to mean anything?" "Yeah, then it does." As then he would hold her hand and kiss. As Charlie was so happy, she ran out the door and began to yell, "I have a boyfriend, I have a boyfriend, I have a boyfriend." As Charlie excitedly ran back to her mom's house, Beelzebub would say, "So how'd it go?" "It went amazing. I went with Vortex." He would say, "Oh, Vortex, he pursued me not too long ago. Luckily, I set him up for you." Charlie would say, "Wait, you told him to walk towards me?" "Yeah, but he stayed with you on his own fruition, though." Charlie would be torn, but then she would smile and say, "Thanks, Mom, you're welcome." As they would hold hands, Charlie would become like a party girl. She loved to have fun, she loved the party, she loved to see new things, and she loved to be with her mother. She also loved to be with her father, and she lived a happy life with her family, and with a nice boyfriend. And even though she would never open a hotel in this timeline, she would be happy, truly happy, and deep down, that's all that matters. And that's where I'm going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with all your friends. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. And yeah, I really enjoyed making this video. I think Beelzebub would be a great parent. What do you think? And yeah, I think that I went the right route, And things are definitely getting better for me in life and stuff. Moving on my way, thinking about things, going through things, you know how it is. Also, what's your favorite thing to get from McDonald's for McDonald's breakfast? I know it's kind of a weird thing to ask, but I've been getting that like a long time, like it's, addictive. So let me know, please. What's your favorite McDonald's breakfast item? Mine's kind of the breakfast burrito because they're so good. Nah, it used to be a breakfast burrito, but now it's the egg and bacon biscuits. They're just so good. They're so ripe. They're so good, so good, so good, so good. Anyway, love you all. Hope you have an amazing day. I'm so glad that I have a community like you. I'm so glad I have commenters like you. And I'm so glad I have viewers like you. And I truly mean it. I truly mean it. That I'm very glad and very lucky to have people like you watch my videos. People like you who comment. People like you that just share things. And, well, I started this channel about a year ago. Now I have 5,200 subscribers. And, well, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep trucking along. And I have no idea where the future holds. I have no idea how far we're going to get into this. But all I do know is that I love you all very, very much. And I'm so glad I get to make videos like this. And I'm so glad people get to watch it. Ever since I was a kid, I had a dream of being a YouTuber. I had a dream of making videos for people to watch that. And for people to, be engaged with it. And people to be excited with it. And, that's kind of what I've been doing a lot with YouTube. Been making things for people to get excited with. Been making things for people to watch. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful to have fans like you, and I'm grateful to have all of you. And if someone didn't say they love you, I love you. Mwah. Peace out.